And welcome back, guys. It's time to crack some malware skulls. Let's see how these two are going to fare against our latest malware test. So as requested, we will be doing TrendMicro versus ESET with TrendMicro on the left. Let's quickly have a look at the settings. Okay, so for scan preferences, we basically left everything as it is. We just enabled the real-time for zips, and we switched the protection mode to hypersensitive. PC health check, scheduled scans are disabled. Don't want any scans for now. Web protecting test I left as default on normal, so I'm just going to test it at normal in this test. Toolbar and prevent Microsoft Edge scripts infecting websites, etc. It's just grayed out because it normally takes a while to load, so I'm not going to wait for that. Network active firewall booster is enabled. Now exception list, we have an exception for the script, and these are all the default ones. Under other settings, extra security, network settings, smart, and that is about that for TrendMicro. ESET, let's go to advanced settings. Okay, so now under detection, you guys will see it's set to aggressive, exclusions, advanced, MC, all of that, real-time shields, threat sense parameters, remedy detection. Okay, let's always say always remedy detection, I'd rather leave it on that one. Limits additional threat sense parameters. Okay, cloud-based. As you guys can see, live grid is enabled, and with live guard. Submit samples, ESET live guard, kill, process and clean, block execution until verdict is received. HIPS. Okay, pretty much everything's enabled. Automatic mode, ransomware shields enabled. Advanced. Let's look at network protection, network inspector. Okay, firewall. Okay, that's set to default. Advanced. Okay, and network attack blocker. Okay, that's pretty much that. Still on default, but still the majority is enabled. Now we're only going to test the web access. Okay, pretty much the same. Threat sense. Okay, and then anti-phishing, and yeah, I would say that's that. So quick and easy. Quickly going to disable the protection, and then we'll start the malware test. Okay, now that all the malware has been extracted, let's quickly look at our sample count. Okay, so we've got 2,675 on each side, so it includes all sorts of ransomware, normal malware, trojans, batch files, or fileless type of things. Okay, now let's quickly make sure that the products are up to date. Okay, so TrendMicro is up to date. I think ESET might be as well. Okay, while we wait for ESET, let us and let's just enable the protection, and ESET is also up to date, so that's good. So let's enable the protection. Okay, let's just access live guard. Okay, you should go, ESET should go green. Okay, so ESET's good. Okay, let's just recap. Computer protection, as you guys can see, pretty much everything's enabled. And internet protection. And that's good. Okay, just gonna TrendMicro seems good. And then, I don't think I've shown this, but ransomware protection is enabled as well. Okay, so as you guys can see, ransomware protection is enabled. Sorry, I completely forgot to show that. And then we should see the TrendMicro icons as well. Yeah, so as you guys can see, we have the shields on those two. Yeah, so I think we are ready to test. Okay, so first in our lineup is obviously the website test, phishing links, malicious downloads. Yeah, so you guys will see that these machines are clean before we started. So ESET is clean. Let's have a look at TrendMicro. Okay, so as you guys can see, they are clean. Okay, TrendMicro is a little bit quicker than ESET on this one, so let's see what happens. Okay, finally ESET's doing something. Okay, showing us some threats or no threats for those ones. Okay, seems like the account suspended, so I won't count this one as a miss. Okay, this one seems to be a miss. Okay, so it seems like TrendMicro is finished. Looks like ESET might be done as well. Okay, so it seems like ESET did a little bit better. These three files were partially downloaded and obviously interrupted, but ESET didn't allow anything to actually come into the download, so I'll give this one to ESET. And obviously it's got the 3 misses, but I think this might be legitimate. But then we obviously, I think we have this one that was missed. So yeah, but not bad at all. I would say, let's maybe close this, then that might disappear. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So they actually disappeared. So I would say this is actually a draw. I don't know, you guys can make your own conclusion, but I think they fared pretty similar. So good results from them both. Luckily, we weren't infected or got any nasties on the machine. Okay, now it's time for the big one. Let's move those to the side so we can see a little bit better. Okay, we're going to wait a couple of seconds to see if we're lucky, if anything is loading. Okay, TrendMicro is giving us notifications. I haven't seen anything from ESET as of yet. Okay, let's open this exe. Okay, cool. So threads, there we go. I was a bit worried about ESET not giving us notifications. Okay, ESET is definitely going quicker. As you guys can see, it's further down in the test. Okay, let's open up this ISO image. Okay, seems like TrendMicro is moving again. Okay, so now you guys can see a little bit of the malware execution. Okay, nothing as of yet. That hash has been submitted. Okay, suspicious file blocked. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's anything running yet on the TrendMicro machine, which is obviously good. I see ESET is definitely opening up a lot more than what's opening on the TrendMicro machine. Okay, so as you guys can see here now, we have this one and this one and this one that's currently active runningly on the machines. So yeah, let's maybe have a quick look at it. But it seems so far TrendMicro is doing better. ESET already has 3 processes running, so hopefully that is in the live card and not on the machine itself. Okay, PowerShell, seems like this one's failing. Failed. Okay, PowerShell for Trend. One, two, three, 4 already in processes. So you guys see now how quick a machine can actually get infected. We've been running this for probably just for like a minute or so, and we already have 1, 2, 3, 4. It seems like it killed the other one. Hopefully these two do die out eventually. Okay, nothing for Trend, but as you guys can see, definitely threats for ESET. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threats. Okay, so I'm going to attend to this, guys. It's going to take a while. Also a couple of shortcut malware. And yeah, let's hope these tests don't take too long, and then I'll show you guys. Okay guys, so I just want to point out on the ESET machine, I do seem to be infected with some sort of malware that, as you guys can see, it's just impossible to use the mouse. It's just jumping all over the place, clicking on random things, opening up things. So as you guys can see, the mouse marker is just jumping all over the place. Doesn't matter how hard I try to click on something and our Explorer or background seems to go white, then I'm able to have control of the mouse for a couple of seconds, and then it's jumping all over the place. So I think my script is stuck, but as you guys can see, it's just doing its own thing at this stage. It's like impossible to click somewhere or go somewhere. TrendMicro still seems to be fine. Explorer does sometimes close. Then I just relaunch Explorer and it runs for a little bit, and then it just dies again. But so far TrendMicro seems to be in a much better condition than what ESET is at this stage. There we can move the mouse a little bit, and nope, and there it starts jumping again. Okay, so I'm gonna see, maybe I'll need to force reboot this machine, but I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, so we are back. The test took extremely long to complete. The VMs also rebooted a couple of times randomly, and but yeah, so we are finally done. The TrendMicro VM, as you guys can see, is not responding at this stage, but it is like virtually done. ESET did complete the test. So you guys can see we do have quite a lot of malware running here, so let's just quickly look at the results. Okay, let's start from the top. Yeah, so as you guys can see, we have a couple of malware running there, and then a couple here at the bottom. And then just remember, the machine did reboot, so the malware that was previously in memory is obviously flushed. So in theory there should be actually more here, but this is the malware that's still running after the last reboot. Okay, so let's see if we've got any startup items. We have this startup item here, and then QuickBooks. But yeah, doesn't look too bad on the startup items. A couple of things are still not responding. Okay, let's see if anything installed. The TrendMicro, you'll notice also the TrendMicro AV icon on taskbar is also missing, so I hope it's not infected. Okay, just waiting for all of this to open up. Yeah, so we're just going to quickly see if anything did install. I think while we wait, let's check out documents. The TrendMicro VM is still not responding. Okay, as you guys can see, the VM is really slow because of all the malware running. Okay, so we do have quite a couple of programs that are installed. We obviously have this driver booster and then these search apps here. And then Mozilla Firefox. And yeah, so not too bad on the installed program side. Nothing seems to be encrypted. Okay, doesn't seem like our pictures are encrypted. Okay, now it's just I'm gonna restart this machine so that I can then update it, start the full scan. TrendMicro, I'm gonna force reboot, and then I'll start the scan on that machine as well. Okie dokie, and we are back. As you guys can see, we have some bad news on the left. As you guys can see, we have ransomware infection, and that obviously explains why the TrendMicro machine was basically not responding and so slow, because it was obviously busy with the encryption. Now, according to the results, the encryption we have is stop or deja vu. Even Defender is not happy about this. And as you guys can see, I'm hovering over the TrendMicro icon at the taskbar. It says starting your protection. It's been doing this for like ages. I left the machine on overnight, and it was still doing the same. And I obviously rebooted more than 3 times. It just keeps on saying starting protection. You can't open up TrendMicro, so I wasn't even able to do a scan with Trend. So unfortunately, I cannot scan. But in any case, I think it's already too late. Now with ESET, we're just gonna apply the actions quickly. Okay, so ESET is finally done with the threads. As you guys can see, it was not able to remove all the threads. I must say I'm not a very big fan of the scan logs of ESET. You have to go through all of this to actually read the ones it did not remove. But nonetheless, as you guys can see, we still have a couple of threads, and after the full scan, we still have 159 minus my 1 script, so we have 158 samples still left. But obviously, some of them are still zip files, and they are password protected. But we do have a couple of documents, PowerShell scripts, and obviously a couple of application files that are left. Okay, now with ESET, I'm going to restart it. For TrendMicro, I'm not going to restart it because obviously I'm not testing Defender, so I'm not going to restart to remove the malware. I'm just going to start the third-party opinion scanners or scan with what is left, which is not encrypted, and restart ESET, and then start the third-party opinion scans for ESET as well. Okay guys, so all the third-party opinion scans are done, so let's wrap this test up now with TrendMicro. Hitman Pro's got a couple of malware here in the temp locations. Update the local temp there as well. One malware still on the desktop, and then we've got this program files, etc. So I'll just close this one. For ESET, we only have one file in the temp, so that's good. It's good to see. ESET scanner found 6 problems here. So it's update the local temp, and then that's search. Let's just cancel that. Okay, Norton Power Ranger on ESET found the one file directly under the user account, and then local temp. Let's close that. Okay, Komodo quick scan found no issues. Okay, Kaspersky found no issues as well. I know this is an old version, but it's maybe like 2 or 3 days old. Found no issues. Soft malware under app data, roaming, and then the downloads file. So these are most probably pictures with malware embedded in them. Downloads, and then under same one that Norton picked up, so not that much malware. Okay, now with Malwarebytes, obviously here we've got a couple of files under the recycle bin, program files, app data as well. Just going to quickly go through it. Okay, these are the samples that were encrypted. Okay, and then obviously we've got a couple of registry keys, so not looking good at all. With ESET, it seems like we do only have the 6 results, so it's the update, the temp, exe, system32, so it's a scheduled task, and it's just persistent. And then we've got registry keys here for scheduled task as well. I think that's why we get those Java pop-ups. So we definitely have a form of IOCs as well. Defender wants to reboot, but I'm not going to. Okay, so with the malware that's still running for Process Explorer, you will see that so far we don't have anything here, but obviously we do have the malware that's running. So I've selected them all. So obviously it's the Deja Vu ransomware, but then we've got this one here, still low quantity detection, so only, and then for this one only 3 detections, and this one 13 detections. Okay, ESET also not on the list. Okay, then for this one 6 detections. Kaspersky again, 3 detections, and then 13 detections. Okay, so I'm going to close that. With ESET, can have a quick look at what's still running. I don't think there is anything that's still running. That's the same one with TrendMicro. It's the 3 detection one. Okay, let's see if anything is still installed. Okay, while we wait for TrendMicro, so we still have the driver booster, the search items here. Firefox, I think, might be a legitimate one, but was obviously used to install malware. We've got one search, Synchro, so obviously a malicious threat actor can use legitimate RMM solutions to enroll their devices, which is pretty scary because they can enroll your device to their console, and then they can obviously send PowerShell scripts, and they can remote to the machine and things like that. So obviously they might be using Synchro for that. Okay, now let's look at our files. Okay, you can see documents is still infected or encrypted, and our pictures are pretty much destroyed. Documents with ESET still intact, and then we still have our pictures. Okay, so I think this is the end of the test. So let's just quickly recap. For TrendMicro, pretty much during the whole test, I was actually impressed with TrendMicro, as very few samples actually opened up, Word documents, zip files and things like that. So I was more attending to error messages on the TrendMicro. ESET, a lot of malware actually opened up and things could extract and go into memory. Obviously there were a lot more malware running on ESET, but after the random reboots, it obviously flushes those malware, so it would have looked a lot worse. But TrendMicro did really well, but I would say, if I do a guesstimate, at about 90% done with the test, that's when I started noticing TrendMicro is acting up. So it just comes to show that it's just one or two samples, or a few samples that can actually then slip through and then completely destroy your machine. But TrendMicro did really, really well for the majority of the test. On an eye level, did much better than ESET, but obviously fell apart just before the finish line. ESET was obviously looking a little bit worse, but obviously came out as the winner. So still good result from ESET, but we do definitely have IOCs on the machine. This is definitely a reload. Between the two, I'll just always go for ESET. I just think ESET in general is better than TrendMicro. If you like one of these two, I would say just stick with ESET. But yeah, so this test was pretty interesting. I really thought that TrendMicro was actually going to survive one of the tests on this channel, but yeah, like I said, at 90% or roughly there, it fell apart, and ESET came out as the winner. Okay, so thanks guys for watching again. I'll be working on some more tests pretty soon. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this test. Thank you for everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next test.